All right, welcome back everybody. So how are you guys doing today? So today I'm doing a review on a product that was given to me. Now, in the last couple ones that I've done, the Alpha A-Tech, the Alpha RDA, the Jelly Box, and now the Fusion by Alpha Hellvape, is by Joseph Ong. So shout out to him. This is the revision 2 of the Fusion Pod Kit. So if anybody knows, I did the review on the original Fusion, which is this one right here, which is my black one. And this is the new rendition of that pod. So it is a Fusion Pod Kit revamped. It's not a V2, it's just been revamped. Basically, some changes have been made inside of how to lock it and all. But with that, basically, it's real simple to understand. This is a very good pod for one main big reason. It runs 5 coils. 5 different types of coils. So this pod is one of the pods you should look at picking up. Price budget friendly. Coil compatibility means almost anywhere you go you can get a coil for it. I think it's called a PM1 or PMP1. One of those two. It's from Vupu. It's their rebuildable. Will actually work in this. Alpha also makes it. I don't have it up here with me right now like I should. I should have had it with me, but I don't. Their RBA. They have an RBA as well. And you have those two options. So that means you can use Vupu coils, Sigeli coils, RPM coils, Alpha Tech coils. So you have many different options. 5, 6 different options. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take this device, bring it down, show it to you, put both devices next to each other so you can see them both, talk about it, bring it back up on top, give you pros and cons, and that will be it. So I'll see you guys down below. Alright, sorry about that. Camera battery died. So what happened on the revamped version is, as you can see, it's ohming right now as the pod's in. I've got it set to 40 watts. I can pull the pod out, put the pod back in, and it still says at 40 watts. The original one, what happened is when you had it on, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Alpha Hellvape, so they also changed it. This is one is setting, the brightness is brighter on this one than compared to the original. I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. You stand check atomizer. I'm a coiling, you fool. But basically, if you had a coil in it, you pull your pod out. Okay, like so, and you put it in, you couldn't really do much. So as you see, there's no locking. Okay, so I'll show it to you. Real simple is I'll take this pod out right in front of you, put it in, reading a 0.48 right now. You couldn't lock your wattage on this, okay? As you see, as I try to do it, it just wants to fire it. So that was the difference on the initial version of the Hellvape to the revamped version. Now that I put this in, let's go ahead and pop it out. You have to click back in. All right. 0.4 exactly on the dot, 40 watts, still set at 40 watts. So now you can lock and unlock the wattage. That's what they changed on it. It's still 1700 mAh, flavor is still the same. The airflow seems it got a lot smoother compared to the original. It's a little bit clickier too, so you can definitely know as you're moving. The tightness of the draw is even a little bit tighter. And the flavor is still there. That's completely, air is completely at the tightest you can be. And that's what it is. So what it did is it stopped it now from jumping your wattage. Before, you'd pull your pod out, put your pod back in, it would shoot it up to the max wattage, usually around 60 to 70 watts, depending. And with that, it's no longer doing that. And all you have to do to unlock and lock it is just the up and the fire and down button, locks it, or unlocks it, and the power up button locks it. So those are the changes that they made, and the screen seems to be brighter on this than that of this one here, as you can see right there, which one is brighter as it focuses. So you can see the difference. But other than that, the shapes, the design, everything else is the same. Nothing else changed on it. The pods are still the same. I could take this pod out and still put it in here. So now basically I have 2 pods and 2 fusions. So if you're somebody who likes to keep their ohms locked whenever they change coils, or you do a build or what have you, well, there you go. Now you can do it with no problem. And no, it's just amazing. The green ones were sent out to some of us reviewers. Thank you, Joseph Ong, again. And Alpha A-Tech for allowing me to review the revamped version 2. Sorry it took me a little bit to get this out. Just been getting a lot of things together lately. Haven't had time to sit down and do any recording, but here we are. And I am very, very pleased with the new revamped edition. Only suggestion on the revamp, I think I've already said it, but I may say it again, is, you know, maybe if we revamp and make a call, quote unquote, a version 2 or version 3, whatever people want to consider it, make it a Type-C. That's the only recommendation I can put on it. A Type-C fast charge with 1700 mAh, because how big this battery is, will make this charge quicker, and people will love it even more so. I mean, I think it'll take it to the next level of pods. The price point of this goes from around $1,100 to $1,200, depending where you pick it up at. And you cannot argue the price tag on this. This here gives you flavor, battery life, ease of use, sitting in your hand, you know, real simple, real simplistic. You know, you can't fire it like this. It's best like this. So it's more of a thumb fire device. Otherwise, you'll be firing like this. So with that, Alpha Hellvape. Here's the tube, the initial version, the non-revamp to the revamped version from Alpha Hellvape. So with that, thank you again. So I've got plenty of coils to go with it. Upside down. And they also gave me an RBA for it as well for me to do builds on. The builds are pretty easy if you know how to build. There's no reason for me to rebuild an RBA right now and do it in a video. It'd take too long. So with that, guys, I will bring this back up on top, talk about it, and give you my final opinions. So see you guys up on top. Alright guys, here we are down low. So here we are doing a comparison between the original Fusion Pod and revamped version 2. Now, if I take the pod away, can you tell the difference between the boxes? No, you can't. So there's going to be a way to show you how to decipher which one is what. Now, in this particular case, because of what I have, it's going to let me know which one is what. I'm also going to give a shout out to Joseph Ong. Thank you so much. He sent me out coils. Both, I got 0.2s, 0.4s, and also the Alpha RBA, which gives you everything inside. This is their new packaging on it, which comes inside is the RBA cotton, a coil, a user manual, O-rings, and a screwdriver, and more post screws. All come inside of the package. So really nicely done, well made. The package is good. You know, I kind of crushed mine a little bit, sorry, but happens, you know. Otherwise it would sealed up perfectly. Alpha Hellvape did an amazing job on this pod system. It's probably one of my favorite pods that are on the market as far as basic pods go, due to battery size, coil compatibility, etc. So with that, you know, I'll show you the two differences. So here's the two coil sets they sent me. There's also a 0.6 ohm coil, I think. They ran out of stock on those and they let me know, which was fine. But 0.2, 40 to 70 watts, and then 0.4 is good for 30 to 40 watts. I usually run 30 to 40 watts, so this 0.4 is good for me. Flavor on this thing is phenomenal. So with that, guys, I'm going to set the black one to the side, take this box away, and now we're going to go ahead and open this one up. Alright, so here we go. So here's the new one, the revamped version of the Alpha Hellvape Fusion. On the bottom, man, they make sure this stuff is not going anywhere. Good, it's secure. So there's that. The 2 coils, USB coil. There we go. Your warranty card and your user manual of how to do everything. It just tells you how much it is, 2 and 4.5 mil capacity. A1 mesh, A1 meaning Canthal coils, 40 to 70 and 30 to 40, so you get the 0.2 and 0.4 ohm coil. Fill on the side, airflow adjustment, fill tube. What else did they tell you? Alright, pod install, how to install the pod. Facing forward, disassembly, pull it straight up. They said the pods themselves, or the coils themselves, last 7 to 14 days depending on the frequency of use. So, here's your difference. This is the new revamped green Alpha Hellvape pod. So, if you look at the two, the designs are the same. Okay, so if you look at them, hit the focus in. Alright, so it doesn't want to focus. Let's go ahead and do this. And focus it. So Alpha on one side, Hellvape on the other. Focus. There we go. So, or Fusion says on the other side, and Fusion on the other, like the original. Now for this, let's pull out the pod, like they say, straight up. No coil inside. Both pods are the same. Turn it on, 5 clicks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alpha Hellvape. Check atomizer. $20. Check atomizer. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna run some of my dreams inside of here. So let's go ahead and open up the 0.2 ohm coil. So that's going to be this one right here, or the 0.4 ohm coil, sorry. Yep, 0.4 ohms, which is the, what is it, 30 to 70 watts? Yeah, it's best. So this is called priming. So what I'm doing right now is I'm priming the coil, which is just getting it pre-saturated, ready for when you insert this into the pod, it will already start absorbing liquid and it won't burn your coil out. Put a little, I usually put a little on the top of the pad too, just to help it out, and it soaks it down. But yeah, that's it. That's all you have to do. Then all you do is take your coil, stick it in, open up your juice fill port, which is pretty easy now. Fill up your juice. Alright, so there we go. Alright, so once your pod is basically saturated, that's all you have to do, just set it there and let it saturate. You don't have to worry about nothing. Put that down. Put this back in with that one. Put those back together, put that back in the box. Nice and snug fit. Love it. So all right. I'm going to set our pod in facing forward like it says. There it went. Clipped in that time. Alright. 0.43 ohms, running at 35 watts. Go down to 30. Okay. And there you go. Revamped version, what it did was it changed the locking ability of the ohms. What happened before is when you would pull your pod out, okay, like this, and you put your pod back in, it would reset your wattage back up to the high wattage. That was what it was doing. So they revamped it. All they did is readjusted it and made it to where now it actually, you can lock those ohms or lock that wattage in so it won't change. So you see it locks. So now I can unlock it, power and down button unlocks it so I can go back up and power. Let's go to 40 watts. Welcome back everybody up on top. So here we are with the Alpha Hellvape Fusion Pod. Now this is the revamped edition, and up top I have the original edition and the revamped edition. So the differences between the two pods, which are here, is two things that I've noticed, or three. One, airflow in the original was a little bit tougher to move back and forth. Okay, no problems there. It's just the way it was. Some people had an issue where this would pop out and you'd have to get a replacement kit and fix that, which they supplied. They're very good about it. So Alpha Tech has great, support on those issues, and they knew about it and they fixed it, no problem, and that was that. Now the other thing on this, it had a little bit dimmer of a screen, so that's that version. So on the new revamped version, which is my green one, which you can't really tell is too green by the looks of it, is the revamped version. What this allows you to do now, what the original didn't do, was lock your wattage. Big pro for me. What that means, every time I pop my pod out and I put a new one in, my wattage stays the same. Now, I do have a built RBA from Alpha A Tech right here that I have tested already. So I do have two of them because they were nice enough to let me have one and test one. So I've got two of them. And all I can say is, build, a space wire on this. That's my thing on anything that doesn't have a 510. That's always a con to me. No 510, so I can ohm it out and preheat it. That means I got to put it in, heat it up, take it out, squeeze it, and get the hot spots out. Then it becomes a pain. But the fact that you can rebuild on this so you can save money on coils, that's a big plus. So with that, that's a good thing. Secondly, the airflow in this, very smooth. Brighter screen, locking of the ohms, very good. Only other con, which is subjective to myself, and the reason being is because most things coming out nowadays are Type-C charging cables, is maybe next time Alpha and Hellvape, when you guys come back together, if you make another edition of this, or you want to maybe reshape it, I don't know what you guys are going to do, because all I know is if you exceed this, man, you guys are really knocking out of the ballpark already, is put a Type-C charging port on it. That's it. That's the only thing I can see that really needs to be changed on this. Everything you guys seen before that was a problem before, as far as the airflow, how it works, you fixed it. I see no issues on this. This is the revamped. A brighter screen, very good. Now it's easier to see. Locking of the the wattage, very good. Now you don't have to worry about always having to change your wattage every time you put your pod back in. When you take your pod out and you put your pod in, you can hear it lock down, and it tells you right there. Mine stays at 40 watts, and it's amazing. Wide open. Amazing flavor. I am getting all the flavor on my personal juice of that creamy butterscotch with hints of custards. Wide open, and then closed. I get a little bit more of that custard with that creamy butterscotch come out, because it gets a little bit more of that dense, warmer vape. And it is not that loud at all. One-sided airflow, some people get driven nuts with it, because you're hearing it on one side. But For me, it's not bothering me because it's not like a tornado of air being sucked into this thing. And you close it down, you don't even hear it. And it's amazing flavor. So, if I was to rate this from a 1 to a 10 on the device, on the new revamped edition of the Alpha Hellvape Fusion Pod, I will give this an easy 8.5. And the only reason why is an 8.5, not a 9, is just because no Type-C. That's it. Other than that, 100% recommended pod to get multiple coil compatibilities, alpha coils, let's see here, Alpha Vupu, PMP1, or whatever is rebuildables. If you can't get a hold of an Alpha RBA, you got the Alpha RBA as well. And RPM coils work as well in this. So you have the ability to always run this device. And it's 1700 mAh, or milliamperes, however you like to say it. So with that, this thing will last you a long time. I have used this thing multiple times, for a long time, the other one. This was, as you saw today, the first day it was opened. But all I can say is using that, it would take days before it died. And the flavor on this is tremendously good. Like, hands down. So with that, guys, that's my review on the Alpha Hellvape Fusion Pod Revamped Edition. And again, thank you to Joseph Ong at Alpha A-Tech for getting me the device for review. And I look forward to more later on. So until next time, I'll catch you on the next review.